raised it up again.
That's
and
profit.
I made
Profit, right?
I'm talking about profit, yeah.
Profit.
And then
guys.
another $1,200, $1,300 a day after that, and even more yesterday.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Damn, we looking good. Yeah, this is a new camera. I got a new filming setup. Don't worry, office update will be coming in the future. I don't quite have everything yet, but once I do, I will definitely be sharing that with you. I don't know, I messed that up. So, I have a really fun video for you guys today. I'm just so sick of a lot of the negative media bias, and I just feel drained lately. So I wanted to do something happy. This is gonna be a great video, motivational. One of my students just recently did $7,000 profit in 7 days. Yes, you heard that correctly. Absolutely crushing it. So we're gonna switch over to a video conference that I did with him earlier. Let you guys tune in for that. We have some great tips for you guys. So be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, let's switch over to that call. I'll see you guys later. Okay, what's going on, guys? We are here with Brian. What's going on, Brian?
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
Brian just reached out to me recently with some exciting screenshots. We've been in touch for a long time. He's been a long-time student. We've been working side by side, exchanging information about Amazon for quite some time. And I thought this was an interesting time to be doing this video because given the circumstances, a lot of people have a lot of uncertainty. So why don't we just start with the question of how has this pandemic affected you, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, personally, it's been difficult, but when you're talking about the business, you're talking about e-commerce, it's been actually fantastic. The numbers have never been better than Christmas time, better than Black Friday, the best numbers I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. And that's something that, you know, is probably a curve that most people weren't expecting to hear, is that it's been fantastic. And the reason is because we were just touching on this a little bit before we started recording here. There isn't a supply, or there isn't a demand issue on Amazon or in e-commerce or in any business for that matter. It might be one of the best times to get going with a business because it's one of the limited times where there's actually a supply issue. There's not enough sellers. The sellers that maybe were in markets are going out of stock. Have you seen any of your competitors go out of stock maybe, or?
I think I've seen like 60 to 70% of them go out of stock, and I've not seen them come back in. It's been, and I came into stock about 6 days ago. I got a new stock in that I had already ordered before any of the pandemic happened, and that was 500 units. I'm almost sold out. I should be sold out by tonight.
Yeah, so touching on how much you're selling, I'll flash a screenshot somewhere up here with my amazing editing skills after this is over. How are your sales? Let's talk numbers. How have you actually been doing? What is your profit? Let's make the title of this video real right now.
Yeah, man. Unbelievable. So the first day, I mean, it started taking off. Before that, I still had some stock left. For 2 days, I had like no stock. And then on the, let me see, on just looking at my numbers here on my phone, on the 31st of March, I sold over $3,000 worth. It was about, the grand total was like, I think $3,600 or something like that. No, $3,776 in one day.
That's pretty crazy.
But I made about $900 profit that day. So I raised my price up. I realized the demand was huge. So then the next 2 days, I made over $1,000 each day. I raised it up again.
That's
and
profit.
I made
profit, right?
I'm talking about profit, yeah.
Profit.
And then another $1,200, $1,300 a day after that, and even more yesterday. I probably made $1,300, $1,400 yesterday. Profit.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
And I'm over 3,000 in sales every single day for the last 6 days.
Yeah, so Brian's absolutely crushing it. Far more impressive numbers than myself at this time. I think today I'm at like $400 for the day, and that is nowhere close to the numbers that you're talking. So it's motivating for me, honestly, even to see one of my students take off that successfully is just, it shows you the power of Amazon. It's almost like there is some skill to it, but would you say that one of the most important factors for you was just taking action on something, and then it almost was like everything else took flight from there?
I would totally agree with that. I mean, it was amazing because at first, I was happy because we were talking about like making $100 a day. I was like, that'd be amazing. And I wasn't making that, but then it kind of built up, and I was making $100 a day. And then I've put in a ton into PPC, and I was actually spending before this pandemic $160 a day, but I would make $160 a day, and that was still great. On one, we're talking about one product here too. We're not
Yeah,
talking
one
about
one product, not like a
multiple
whole brand
products
or
here.
anything.
And this is one product that's 99% of this, and it's just been growing. It's been getting bigger and bigger. And there was days I'd make 300 before the pandemic, and now the pandemic hit, and I'm making $1,000 plus a day. It's unbelievable. But
So,
you got to get started. You got to start somewhere.
so the question everyone's wondering is, are you selling masks?
Toilet paper? No, I'm not selling anything essential. Nothing essential.
Masks and toilet paper doing over $1,000 a day. Now we gotcha.
Unbelievable. But no, nothing essential. You could live without this. Let me put it that way.
Absolutely. Yeah, so super impressive. Really, just what would be your advice for, because we just touched on the importance of taking action. I've felt with all my successful products that really the hard part was just saying, okay, let's do this. And then afterwards, I don't think there was much work involved. Like, do you feel like you're working as hard as you need to be making $1,200 a day, $1,500 a day?
I've never made this much in my entire life. I mean, I have busted my butt doing all kinds of jobs in my life. This is the easiest money I've ever made in my entire life, by far.
How,
And
how
it's the
many
most money I've
hours a
made
day do you think you're working?
on this.
Yeah, on
Uh,
Amazon to make that amount of money.
well, I mean, I do a lot of other stuff, but how much do I actually have to work?
Yeah,
Like 20 minutes a day?
20 minutes a day,
If
right?
that. I
Yeah,
think my people see me check my sales. That's about it.
it's amazing. So, what are your goals for the rest of the year? What do we have in store?
Um, I honestly, I am convinced I can get this to $1 million by next March, but I think I can hit that before. I'm
I
building out
think
a
so.
brand, got some trademarks done. I'm trying to launch products, but the delays are hindering me right now. As everybody else, the supply delays.
True.
But I have two or three other products that are ready to go. I have another product I just got back in stock, and that was doing okay. So I think I could be at $1 million in revenue by the beginning of next March.
I think so, man. With the numbers we're seeing right now, it doesn't seem unlikely. And imagine how many more products you can launch from there. So, $1 million revenue goal. Do you have a strategy for getting there? Are you doing one product a month? Do you have anything like that that you think people might be able to follow?
Well, what's been happening with this? It's crazy because this has been selling. It's a blessing, and I'm not complaining, but it's been selling so fast that I've had to spend all the money I have to get more in stock. And every time
Right.
I think I'm going to launch something else, I have to spend all that money again to get more in stock. So I got lines of credit, and I'm just spent like 40 some thousand on new products. I have two new products in there, and then I have another product I had launched. So I'll have four total products by the time this is hopefully by in a month and a half or 2 months.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, and by the way, when did you start this product for anyone who may be new here?
I believe September of last year,
So not
and
very long at all.
and it's been fantastic, man. And this was off your list too, so this is still that same product, and I've been building out a brand from that product.
Yeah, so if you were wondering what list he was just talking about, I have this monthly, almost blog style list that has been turned into almost an essay now. I put out some ideas, product ideas there, Amazon related stuff. So there will be a link in the description for that as well. And then what would you say? So you've scaled your product phenomenally well using what tactics? Because I've heard so much, from especially from students and from people that may be new to Amazon that are really in this phase of gaining knowledge that think you need giveaways, you need chatbots, you need Instagram ads, you need Google ads. Have you used any of those things?
Well, I got to be honest. Yeah, I actually have used giveaways. I did that for my second product. I'm an extremely aggressive launcher. I'm not saying you have to do that. I've worked with other people that have not spent a ton, and they're doing okay with their launches. I just like to do ultra aggressive launches. I actually did try VPON for my previous product. It got me up to 20 reviews, good reviews, really fast.
Okay.
I don't believe it's against terms and conditions. It worked out really well. So yeah, I mean, I have been very aggressive. I have spent a lot on PPC, but you don't have to. You can still launch without being ultra aggressive.
I think something to keep in mind is you were being aggressive with your PPC once it
Very.
had a good ACOS, right? You weren't scaling from day one with a $500 a day budget. You I think when we started, what you actually did was maybe a few campaigns at what, $20 a day, or maybe it was even just one campaign. And
It
then
was. It
once
was one
one
campaign.
campaign, and then once it proved itself, and you're going, okay, pretty much every dollar in is $3 out here. Now I can get aggressive. So I think that's an important takeaway there. So if you hear that advice, I hear that all the time. I hear be aggressive, and this really is something that I think needs to be talked about more. Be aggressive once it's profitable. Because if you're just, or at least break even, so you're making your money back, don't be aggressive on day one with a campaign that's never existed and putting $200 a day budget for it, because I've done that before and I've lost a lot of money. So you can, anyone listening here can save yourself a lot. I'm sure you might have seen, if you get too cocky, even with a new campaign, start pumping
For
in
sure.
money to it. It's just like, wow, that didn't work as well as I thought it would.
Yeah, it's trial and error, and I compare it to kind of like a steam engine, right? You start off, keep building up more and more speed, and then once your organic listing gets high enough, then you can start, pedal to the metal. But you can't just necessarily do that right out of the gate. Now you can run a couple $20 campaigns, but I wouldn't be spending $100+ a day on one product right off the gate. I mean, they're talking this is 4 or 5 months later. I'm doing this. This is
Right.
not something I was doing right away.
Right. That's an
So
important thing
and
to
it's
take
paid
notes
off.
on.
It really has. Paid
Yeah,
off.
and imagine if you hadn't scaled as aggressively as you did, you may not ever see numbers as high as you're seeing right now, right? You may have been stuck down in that 10K a month area, which, hey, I'm not complaining, but
Right.
you wouldn't have seen the results that you're seeing because of it. So there's some good takeaways here. I mean, I think for anyone listening that maybe is just thinking about starting the model, taking action is an important step, and you really never can know how well it will turn out. So just, using your best intuition to go, okay, this looks like, and one of my favorite things, that one of the best, I guess, principles I've ever learned is called modeling. Now, modeling is when you look at someone who's doing what you want to be doing, whether this is in real estate, in Amazon FBA, in drop shipping, whatever. Look at someone who's doing what you want to be doing and follow their blueprint. So that might not even be, that almost sounds like I'm saying like you need a mentor or something. You really don't need a mentor. What I do and how I use this in my business is I find storefronts that are doing what I want to be doing. So I'll find Amazon storefronts during product research and I'll go, wow, they're doing $400,000 a month between 10 products or 20 products or 30 products. What can I do to replicate that? Maybe I'll go in there and look at what they're launching now. What categories are they mostly in? So using modeling is a great way to go in and, look at what someone's been doing and implement it to yourself. Because it wasn't that long ago that I remember watching videos like this on, Tanner J. Fox's channel or Kevin David's channel about student success stories. And I know what it's like sitting on the other side of the camera. And I'm sure you, Brian, know what it's like to sit on the other side of the camera.
For sure.
Just a year ago, or maybe even
It was
slightly
about a year
less than
ago.
that.
Yeah, I started this about a year ago. Yep.
Yeah, so I guess if you could talk to your past self and give your own self advice 1 year ago on the other side of the camera, what would be your advice for starting this business model or just beginning, starting your first product? You've been through it, you've scaled products.
Right.
What can people do and take action on today?
I'll just tell you my mindset when I started. I had some fear. I mean, I was spending $1,500 on my product, and like, I was nervous. I didn't know if they were going to deliver it. Like, I was worried. I had no idea what was going to happen. Alibaba was scary to me. Everything was, it was a chance, but I took the chance, and now it's like second nature. I'm not worried about it at all. I'm like, oh yeah, go ahead and order my next order. It just takes that first step. You've got to do it. My advice would be try it, see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? Honestly, ask yourself that. You lose $1,500. It's not the end of the world. You can try things. If you want to make a difference, if you want to make a change, there's no way you can just sit back and do what you're doing now. It's not going to happen. Like, you're not going to win the lottery, not likely. So you've got to do something that's going to change your life. You've got to make that first step.
Sure. And again, first step, making the first step. So just getting in the field, getting your feet wet is a common phrase that I hear a lot of people saying. Just try selling something. It might work, it might not. My first product was a massive success. Your first product didn't do that well. But with persistence, you will find a product that does well for you. And not only a product, I think you have a whole brand that you will continue scaling further. We've been talking about variations and moving forward with all different kinds of gear related to your current product. So, the way that I look at it, what motivates the hell out of me is to do product research. And most people kind of get flustered that they can't find something. I know, hey, there's $1 million buried in this data somewhere, right? Like where
There's so much opportunity. You're so right.
So much. It's like, look at any given market. I mean, it's the easiest business model to prove that it works time and time again, because go pull up Jungle Scout or Helium 10 on something. It works.
Right.
People are making money.
What other business can you see everybody's numbers? There's nothing like that anywhere.
No,
I mean, it's
it doesn't
unbelievable.
exist. Yeah,
no,
it's incredible.
It's a huge opportunity. Huge.
Yeah, so I think that is my motivation. Just knowing that if you really wanted to get down to a funny way of looking at it, there is some combinations of letters and numbers that you can type into your keyboard that will make you $1,000 a day. If you really want to get down to it, you're touching a keyboard and a mouse, and you haven't been dealing with your products. Have you been shipping your products? Have you been doing? No, Amazon does all of that. It's incredible.
I spent half my day swinging my kids on a swing set today. I didn't do any work today, and I'm going to make $1,000 today.
Yeah. Not too many people can say that. No. So yeah, hopefully there was really no goal to this video other than to motivate you guys as usual here on the channel. The main goal is to just show what's possible. You started, and again, you talked about some big numbers today. You said you took out, have $40,000 worth of inventory coming in, all these huge things, but you didn't start there. So I think those are really impressive things that people might trip over. And what you should remember is that didn't you start with, you said you started your first product with 1,500, and the product you're selling now, if I remember correctly, was about like 2,400, 2,500.
You mean, yeah, I think it was something like that. Yeah, I mean, thinking back,
order.
It wasn't a ton. I was a couple hundred units, and now I'm ordering 1,600 are coming in. That's not even enough. I need like 3,000. I mean, it's crazy. This one product has changed my life.
Yeah, that's to say the least. So I think that's a great place to wrap it up for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. And I'll see you here next time on the channel. If you want to go check out more of Brian, he has an awesome YouTube channel, just really getting started, so you can watch him grow even further. He has so much to deliver and so much more to grow. So I'll leave a link to his channel down in the description. Go check him out. All right, later guys.
Thanks guys.
All right, guys, thanks so much for sticking around till the end. If you were wondering what exactly Brian was doing to get calls with me, there will be a link right here. You can also subscribe right there, and then you can watch another one of my videos right here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you haven't already, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let's let Brian know that he's doing a great job. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.